Hi there, Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience. So I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Boy, Resident Evil sucked! Specifically, what was it called? Infinite Darkness. As of this recording, I haven't posted that debut review yet. In fact, it's still sitting on my camera. I don't know if I'm even going to post it, because I have a feeling that Resident Evil Infinite Darkness is not an episodic TV show, even though it's split into 4 episodes. I have a feeling that was intended to be a movie, and they just split it into 4 episodes. Doesn't really matter. This is my show. I can do whatever the heck I want. But I did, if I'm remembering correctly, I thought that the technical side of the animation was kind of lacking. None of the characters felt like they were in the scene. Some of the animation was a little jerky. Oh, it gets worse. The last shot of the entire show where Leon's walking back into the White House. You should be embarrassed. You, whoever worked on that shot, and I mean, it was probably crunch time and you didn't have time. I get it, but man, someone should feel really bad about that. That is embarrassingly bad. I mean, Leon, the camera's panning back, Leon's walking through the gates onto the grounds of the White House, and his character is kind of like jerking around as it struggles to stay connected to the ground. Oh my god. Now, does that make the show bad? No. The bad show makes the show bad. The first episode was like, it's got a few moments here and there, but let's see where it goes. Oh, no, we're good. It's bad. It's very bad. And that makes me unhappy. Because as cynical and curmudgeonly as I am, I like liking things. I don't like not liking things. So today, I'm going to watch the very first episode of Masters of the Universe, Revelation. Please stop subtitling or title:"ing your shows and video games with words that start with re, like Revelation, or Requiem, or Redemption. Stop doing that! There's 25 other letters in the alphabet that you can use to begin words with. Masters of the Universe, Rutabaga. No, wait, that's an R. Damn! You're right! We can only use words that start with R, but I mean, at least that's not R-E. Yeah. Masters of the Universe, not R. Caltrops. There. Whatever. I'm sure something will be revealed. After a calamitous battle fractures Eternia, Tila and an unlikely alliance must prevent the end of the universe in the sequel to the 80s classic. So reads the show description. So this, I guess, picks up where the 80s cartoon left off. I was young when He-Man was airing, and there's probably like 60, 70 episodes of that show. I'm sure I saw a lot of them. I don't remember any, like, dangling plot threads. Does Tila ever find out that Adam is actually He-Man? Like, are there any other dangling plot threads? Was there any other story through line? It was a pretty episodic show. Skeletor is doing stuff, He-Man throws a rock at him, you know? It's about every show. I don't have any memory. I liked the show when I was 5. Is the show good? No, it's not good. But it does still have its charm, the original He-Man and the original She-Ra. They're bad. They're very, very bad. They're not good. No. They are bad. But they are genuinely charming. They're earnest. Even if you have no affection for them, even without the nostalgia, I think. I have nostalgia, so it's kind of hard for me to say. But I think even without nostalgia, someone who didn't watch the shows, didn't grow up in the 80s, I think they might look back at the originals and go, oh, that's cute. I mean, it sucks. It's terrible. I don't want to watch it. But it has its charm. So this appears to be a continuation of the 80s show rather than an adaptation of or just a new version of it, like the new She-Ra show that they did a couple years ago, which was really very good. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep this tonally in line with how it went in the 80s, just really, really goofy, or if they're going to... I'm not familiar enough with the show, or can't remember enough about it to know what plot lines they could be plugging into or leaping off of here. Or if they're going to kind of do a She-Ra thing, and the characters are going to be much more modernized, and certainly the animation and the art is going to be better, but we have a story. Teela and an unlikely alliance? Well, she must be teaming up with Evil Lyn. And Orko. There you go. There's an unlikely alliance. Teela, the good guy, Evil Lyn, the bad guy, and Orko, the guy no one likes. So, there's a dangling plot thread. What does Orko really look like under his, scarf? So maybe we will find the answers in Masters of the Universe Revelation. Or maybe they'll do that thing where in the She-Ra reboot, there's another the She-Ra show from a couple of years ago, there was part of an episode where they did kind of an homage to the actual costumes and style of the original She-Ra show. What they were doing was they were essentially playing D&D. They're like, we need to make our battle plans using our little characters, and it was realized as an episode, they took like 5 minutes to do it, an episode of the original show, and that was really cute. So maybe they'll do something like that, where it starts off with ha-ha, Skeletor, what's the matter? Lost your skin? I had a stupid pun? Ow, He-Man, do that, and then they'll jump into the more modern acting style and storytelling style. So it'll be interesting to see. I hope that they at least homage the original music. I still think She-Ra's was better. But hopefully they you don't have to reuse it. It's old. It's cheesy like the show, but homage it. Drop it in there somewhere. I would enjoy that. So, okay, not He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revelation. Let's check out the first episode. Well, this is off to a fine start. I did not notice any homages to the original theme, but oh well. It did, however, use the same font for the title cards, and the opening sequence uses a lot of the art style that you found on the packaging. So that's of the toys, so that's pretty cool. Most of the characters are pretty true to their original design. A few of them have seen a few updates here and there, mostly in details. I think one of the a couple of characters had some pretty significant changes. For example, Faker is now an android, and he's only blue because his skin gets stripped off to see the bluish silver metal underneath. As I recall, Faker in the cartoon was almost like Bizarro. I could be remembering this wrong, but the toy was just a He-Man that was blue. Also, Mossman is essentially the Man-Thing now. He's just a gigantic plant monster. So that's pretty cool. It's not as aw shucks goofy as the original was, but it does keep some of the same feeling and cheesy jokes. I do love the commitment to, all those goofy vehicles. The spider with the spinny bit around the front, and the shark one, and the one with the hammer that comes down. You know how they all had faces? They still all have faces. I have all these. That's another fun thing about this episode. I think there was maybe 2 characters and vehicles in the entire first episode where I was like, I don't actually have that one. I have most of this crap. I do have Snake Mountain. I do not have the Castle Grayskull playset because Snake Mountain was much cooler. So there are a couple corny jokes, and it's interesting how they changed some of the voices. Like, Orko was a lot more nasally and high-pitched, and he's still kind of up here in the upper register, but not quite as annoying. He's not up there. It makes you go, oh, please stop. Skeletor, that's Mark Hamill doing Skeletor, and do I have a cast list? Because I'm pretty sure that was Lena Headey as what's her face, Evil Lynn. No, there we go. Yeah, Lena Headey. Chris Wood, I guess that's He-Man. I have no idea who Chris Wood is, though. So Mark Hamill, he's doing the pinched upper register Skeletor voice, but he's making it a lot more throaty than nasally. So you have Skeletor up here, and then the original, he's way up here. But Mark Hamill's, instead of doing this, he's doing this. It's still up in the register, but he's putting a lot of throat into it. So, interesting choice. Hey, they're doing you remember the original toys, how He-Man's sword, the silver sword, and Skeletor, I should have dug all my toys out of the closet, but I didn't. And Skeletor's purple sword were flat on one end. That was because they were, both halves of the power sword, and you're supposed to stick them together, and, they do kind of that in this one. It splits the other way, but whatever. And it's not purple, but... Alright, full spoilers. So, if you like He-Man, pardon me, doing that voice sucked. If you have an affinity for Masters of the Universe, yeah, give it a watch. You'll probably get a kick. If nothing else, it's kind of fun going, oh, I remember that character's name. Oh, I remember that character's name. Oh, I have that toy. Oh, that vehicle, I remember that. That's always fun. Whatever you think of the show, you'll probably at least have fun with that. Yeah. Breakfast, stuck in my teeth. There we go. So yeah, I was right. Tila did not know that Prince Adam was He-Man. She's like the only one. Also, it's not explicitly said, but though I seem to remember that Tila has unknown origins. Isn't Man-at-Arms her adopted father? No one really knows where she comes from. Maybe I'm misremembering that. I don't know. But the first episode here definitely does some fun things. And leaves off on a fun cliffhanger that I'll definitely follow up on. I'll definitely watch episode 2. So it's you're generally, Skeletor attacks Castle Grayskull. Prince Adam is like, oh, the sorceress is calling me by the power of Grayskull, and he sneaks out of Tila's. She's been promoted to Man-at-Arms, so that's cool. Good on your career advancement, Tila. And should have brushed my teeth beforehand. So Prince Adam sneaks out and transforms to He-Man, tries to save Castle Grayskull. You know, Cringer is a scaredy cat. Orko kind of sucks at magic, but he's not quite as annoying as I remember him. So, but without completely changing the character. Skeletor and Evil Lyn manage to crash into Grayskull's basement and find the true power of Grayskull. And then it takes a twist. And again, spoilers. So if you have any intention of watching this, stop the video, go watch it, and then come back. So Mossman is down in the basement just protecting the secret of the magic MacGuffin of Grayskull. And Skeletor lights his ass on fire and murders him. And then tells a real dark joke about having done it. It's like, oh, that's not really in line with the original. And then He-Man runs him through. And Skeletor's like, hey, you finally used your damn sword the way it's meant to be used. Because, you know, He-Man never really stabbed or slashed anyone with his sword. It's like, why do you even have a sword? You just pick up heavy things and throw them. Or punch the ground to knock people over with the earthquake. Which he does in this, too. But running him through... But Skeletor is standing in front of the magical MacGuffin of Grayskull, so... he runs straight. The sword of power goes straight through him and into the unlocking mechanism, and unlocks the power, which is going to explode and destroy the universe. So Skeletor wins. So the sorceress is trying to hold the explosion together that's going to destroy the universe. And He-Man says, "Hey, if I use my magical sword in a special plot-driven way, will that save the universe?" And Sorceress says, "Yeah, but you'll die." So he says, well, I mean, everyone's going to die if I don't. So he does, and he reverts back to Prince Adam, so Tila finally learns the secret, and both He-Man and Skeletor get vaporized, so Evil Lyn just leaves. She's like, oh, shoot, my employer's gone. I'm out. So Grayskull's defended, Skeletor's gone, but so is He-Man. Something I didn't remember from the cartoon is King Rando. Is it Rando? Something. The queen knew Adam was He-Man, but the king did not. So Man-at-Arms is like, yeah, He-Man died, very sad. And he's like, oh, we've lost our champion. And the queen's like, we lost our son. He's like, what? It's like, yeah. Probably should have told you, but Adam told me not to. He-Man and Adam are, same person. And the king's like, you are fired! You are banished from Eternia, not Eternia, but, this kingdom, whatever it's called, forever. Out! If I ever see you, I'll have you killed! And he says to Tila, who he knows is the daughter or adopted daughter, he says, escort this man out. She says, no, F you. Screw all y'all. I've put my life on the line since I was a child, and you all lied to me. Everyone, except the king, everyone knew Adam was He-Man, but me. And you, queen, you didn't even tell your husband? The hell is wrong with you? I'm out! Goodbye! And she takes off her Tila head jewelry and storms out. So yeah, we're in an interesting place. He-Man and Skeletor are I would assume they come back. But it looks like we're going to spend some time without He-Man and Skeletor. Which is fine because I imagine this is going to follow Tila. Well, she's the more interesting character anyway, so fine. I'm also curious to see What's Evelyn doing now? That I'm still saying we're gonna have a Tila and Evelyn team up, and probably Orko. Definitely Tila and Evil. I mean, you got Lena Headley to do the voice. It's definitely gonna be those two. Maybe Orko too. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing where this series goes. So yeah. And He-Man's Adam's transformation into He-Man by the power of Grayskull. I have the power. You know, that whole thing. They went a little bit, they pushed a lot further into magical girl transformation, you know, Sailor Moon kind of, we get the bright, colorful outline of the character and the full 360 spin as they're naked with the clothes appearing on them, rather than just Adam, boom, He-Man. Also, they redesigned the character so that Adam and He-Man do not look exactly the same. And also, Chris Wood is, you know, he talks in his normal voice as Adam, but as He-Man, he opens up his chest a little bit and just adds a... So, there's a difference between the voices, and no one could possibly look at Adam and think, oh, that's He-Man, because looks completely different body type. So, nice choice there. Yeah, I enjoyed it, so if you have any fondness or affinity for the 80s Masters of the Universe line, yeah, go ahead and give it a watch. You might, at the very least, you'll get a nice little nostalgia hit off of it, just looking at, oh, there's Trapjaw, and there's Clawful, and there's the Strider thing, and there's the vehicle, and that's always fun. So, Fisto! Alright, bye.